Hello, hello, my lovely angels. This is your girl Sim back with another episode of the Sim Squad. Hi. I've been waiting for this perfumes for a very long time. Ever since it was announced, it was on my mind, and I couldn't wait to know what they would come up with. This is from the perfume house Kayali, of course, by Mona Katan, and they've released an entire oud range. So when they were doing this teaser ads, I thought it would be one oud perfume, and honestly I was just thinking, how is she going to decide, being a person from the Middle East, like how would she know which, because there's so many oud combinations that are popular, and it was so apt when they released four. So I was like, okay, now it makes sense. And not only that, they also released the bakhur, which is the wooden sticks, and they are matching the perfumes. So you can actually do the oud first on yourself and then spray this perfume on, and it's going to last like forever ever, yeah, till you take a bath, till you wash your clothes. Your whole house is also going to smell good at the same time. So it was a very creative idea. Now, having said that, these perfumes are slightly more expensive than her other regular perfumes, because these are, of course, like with very high quality oud, and oud comes in like various qualities, right? So the wood, the soil they grew in, the weather they grew in, it's like a whole science behind the oud, right? So you have like oud ranging from like reasonably priced to like super duper expensive, and in her oud perfumes it is like the good quality ones. Now the four of them from Kayali, this is from the range called Oudgasm. I bought the 10 mls because I wanted to try them first before I decide which one I want in a full bottle. So this is the collection. Cute. It's all black with golden accessories, and I just want to like jump into it and just start so that this video doesn't become too long again. And me, I'll keep yapping in between. So the first one, which was the most intriguing one for me, I'm gonna do that first, although I should do that the last. But you know what, I want to start with the one which is the least not strong, I want to say, because they all are quite strong. I want to start with the one which is the lightest in terms of potency, and then go up to the strongest one, which in my opinion is extremely strong. And I'm going to save that for the last, because if I smell that first, I'm going to just be like nose blind, So the first one is Oudgasm Vanilla Oud. So of course, you know me, I love vanilla, so I was quite intrigued on how this would smell like. So that's how the bottle looks like. And it comes in, I think, only 50 ml or only 100 ml. No, wait. I think it comes in 50 ml and 10 ml. But I'll list it down. But I think it's 50 ml and 100 ml. So that's your perfume bottle. Now these are really, really concentrated. They all of them are long lasting. They all are extremely potent. They all are something that you will spray in the morning and it'll last you till evening. But for the sake of this review, I'm going to just put one spray on the strip of, okay, that was two. that was two. Now, of course, I was like looking forward to this, and I was like, you know what, this is going to be a banger. In my opinion, it was like, no need to tell me, I know the oud with vanilla, I'm gonna love it. And especially if it was like a sweet oud, I would be like totally fascinated. And this one is like the perfect vanilla oud I was expecting. Guys, now full disclosure, these were not sent to me. This is not PR, so I don't want any comments like, oh, she's just like sent it and like she's like, like praising it. I'm gonna give you my true honest opinion, because oud perfumes are something that we are good at analyzing. We can understand the oud, whether it is a cheap oud, whether it's like a low quality oud, and we understand the combination of all these perfume notes, because these are the ones that are there in the market. What I wanted to know is what is so different about Oudgasm collection from the other one, since this is like slightly more expensive. Now this is like initial review, so Fragrantica, it's something I wouldn't trust as of now, because these are like just launched, and these are, by the way, quite macerated already, because their perfumes, they're not going to release it like if it's not macerated. Like that's going to be like digging a grave for your brand, so these are all macerated. On Fragrantica, the Vanilla Oud 36, so it took 36 tries. The number next to the vanilla Kayali perfumes are the number of tries it took to perfect the perfume. So this is Vanilla Oud 36, so they tried it 36 times to get this done. On Fragrantica, this is 4.61, and there's no category mentioned, but I would call it a gourmand wood. This smells like nothing. Like if you want to compare it to something, like forcefully, although it is not, I would compare this to like her own Vanilla 28 and the Sugared Patchouli. They are like this is like in the same genre. It is the same DNA, but it is not the same. They're completely different from each other. But let's just say that vanilla is the same vanilla she has used in Vanilla 28 and the Sugared Patchouli. And the intensity of Sugared Patchouli is present also in this perfume. The top notes for this are pear, praline and saffron. Middle notes of Bulgarian rose, and the base notes of cashmere and wood, vanilla sugar, white musk, oak moss and oud. Now, before anything else, I want to say that the oud is not oudi, it is the wooden oud. So it's like a wood, it's present like a wood, and the sweetness of the oud, you will know that it's an oud, but it comes in the form of a wood, and this is the wood smell. So no, it's not going to be barnyardy, poopy, or whatever, what do you call it, pronouns you want to give it, or adjectives. Is it adjectives? Yeah, it's adjectives. Dude, like all my years of education down the drain. So yeah, this one, of course I love it. Pear, praline and saffron top note. You can smell the praline like very strongly. So this perfume is an extremely sweet perfume. And you know when I say it's a true gourmand or not, because like do I want to lick it? You know, like, do I want to taste it? This is that. This is a true gourmand. You want to associate it with something edible, but at the same time, it doesn't smell like a bakery. It doesn't smell like a biscuit, and it doesn't smell like a chocolate. Okay, it smells like a delicious perfume. And I know this is going to be for my girlies. Like they all are unisex, but whoa, I almost got my dress. This is all unisex, but I would prefer this on a woman. Like a dude can wear it, they'll get away with it, but like this warm gourmand sweetness, I would not want that on a man. Like Ali, I would not want Ali to wear this, like ever. Like this is me. This is something I would wear and Ali would just love it, you know. Now the notes of rose, musk, praline, saffron, pear, oak moss, all of them are blended. So you don't feel like with the moss, whether it's earthy or not. It just feels like a very nice, sweet, woody perfume. I can say that this is going to be one of the perfumes that's going to be loved the most out of this entire set, because this leans very Western. Although the oud is present, it smells in the same category. If I want to say with genre, like I told you already, Vanilla 28, your Sugared Patchouli by Kayali, it's also in the same category as E-Bar of Rasasi. So if you like those perfumes, and also by Latafa Nebras, it's in the same category. Like you have, but this one of course is because of that oud, it's a little elevated. And of course the saffron and the opening, the pear, it's adding a bit of intrigue as well. So it's setting it apart. So let's just call it the base is as the other perfumes I mentioned, but then it has its own twists and turns, and which is why this perfume makes it like an amazing perfume. And this is, let me do the whole review and then tell you my ranking for them, because I don't want to spoil the surprise, you know. So, but I guess you kind of guessed it. I'm so dumb. Now, time of the day. For me, this is like definitely an evening perfume. Unless you're wearing it in winter, then winter you can pull it off any time of the day, fall, winter. In summer during daytime, I would take precaution. Like I wouldn't wear it too much, like I would not overspray it. But in the evening, date night, special occasions, gala dinner, like you can plus, you know, all these perfumes, you can mix and match them to get the intensity higher. Or if you want to create your own perfume. So let's just say you have like 4 different type of oud perfumes that you should have in your wardrobe, and you can mix and match and create your own. This definitely leans super feminine. It's not unisex in my opinion. The longevity is a good, like, let's just call it like 6+ hours to 8 hours. The woodiness will remain, the sweetness will remain. Any other saffron note and all that will slowly disappear in 6 hours. But I have tried all these perfumes and they all like performed really well. So I'm very happy with the performance of it. The projection would be like, I would say 2 feet, and it would project for like 3 hours or so, like project well. And then you'll have to probably top it off to, if you want that initial long projection. But if you go on an intimate date or something, you don't need to overspray this. You just need to spray it once, and then it's gonna last you throughout your date. Guys, I'm not gonna allocate any human being or celebrity to this perfume, because For Mona's perfumes, I just feel it's Mona. You know, like it's just like, I don't know. It's like we know her. Okay, we don't know her, but she's somebody from this part of the country, and like you are just in your head, Mona is like Mona, you know, and this is all her. My rating for this is a good 10 out of 10. This one was like, for me, this perfume is, yes, definitely full bottle worthy. I'll definitely get it. Just like my Vanilla 28, the Sugared Patchouli, and this has to be. Like gourmand, I don't have many nice gourmands in my collection. These are the ones that do it for me, and I'm gonna get it as a full bottle. Now the next one is Oudgasm Cafe Oud. So this is of course your coffee oud. So the first one was like true golden. This one is like what do you call it? Bronze? Yeah, bronze. That's the bottle. Very pretty. Now this one is called Cafe Oud 19. So it took them 19 tries to perfect this perfume. It's my personal favorite in this collection. I know I said I'll do it at the end of the video, but I can't help it. The moment I smell this, I'm like, because this is, again, it's oud. It smells like Kayali's elixir. So it's in the same DNA, but it has oud. On Fragrantica, this has got 4.38, and people are saying this smells like Atelier, Cologne, Café Tuberosa, or Tom Ford's Noir de Noir. I was expecting that since elixir is kind of compared to that as well. So this one is my favorite, of course, because it has like a familiarity, let's just call it, and it has that sexiness and intrigue, the mystery that I find in elixir as well. Now I know a lot of y'all do not like elixir, which is like strange to me how you do not, but it's like very close to the elixir. For me, if I need to compare it to something, I would say elixir with, like, of course, coffee and oud. The top notes for this are bergamot, mandarin, and cappuccino. So it's a creamy coffee. Middle notes of geranium, rose, and damascena. And the base notes of vanilla, Madagascar, white musk, patchouli, and oud. Now guys, this one is like, oh my gosh, you spray this on yourself, people are going to come and sniff you. Like, it's like one of those perfumes that, you know, you're standing in the elevator and somebody's wearing this and you want to lean and smell them more because you want to like get enough of that perfume, and you're hesitant whether I should ask you or not. Like, I want to know what perfume this is, you know. I quite like this perfume. The oud in this is a bit traditional, but still it's not Banyadi, it's not poopy. This is like a different kind of oud, let's just call it. So the first one was like a very woody cold kind of oud, especially since it's in combination with saffron. This one is a little bit warm, but because of the rest of the ingredients, the rest of the notes, it makes it smell cold. But the oud itself, like when I smell it in the background, I feel it is like a soft wood oud, you know, like it's soft, mellow, and it is a bit wet as well. I think maybe it's because of the patchouli in the base note, but it gives me that feeling that it's a wet oud and it's warm. But the rest of the ingredients are making it like really composed. You know, it's like a very well-rounded perfume. It's, again, for me, this is leading feminine. I'm so sorry, guys. If you guys are like watching this, I'm getting to the men's side, right? Now, this and the vanilla oud are very much feminine for me. This is like, why would a man want to smell like this? But at the same time, it has that noir quality to it, which is why I guess men can wear it. The thing is that for me, I would not want Ali to wear this, so I'm going to hide these, you know. Anyhow, Ali doesn't touch my Kayali collection. It intimidates him, you know. He's afraid that I might get upset if he finishes any one of them, you know. So this one for me, again, is a full bottle worthy. I have to get it. This one is, again, because it smells like elixir, because it has that oud element, and it has that different kind of, let's just say it's like a oud that I've never smelled before. It's like a very wet, spongy, okay, I'm making it sound bad, like you know, it smells like patchouli and moss and oud all combined together, you know. Now patchouli is not like a dirty patchouli, so don't get offended by the thought of patchouli being there. Yes, it's there in the base and it adds to the oud. Let's just call it like, it feels like an echo, like a chord, like not a note, you know. Now the biggest question, that does it smell like, since it's called cafe oud, which means coffee oud, it does, but it kind of like coffee, let's call it, it's not the prominent note. It is a supporting note for oud. So all these perfumes, when you say vanilla oud, cafe oud, rose oud, and tobacco oud, the oud is the prominent note, and the other notes are just like assisting it, you know. So for me, This is not a coffee perfume. It doesn't smell like French coffee. And I got another perfume just for this review. One sec. So I got the Montal Intense Cafe again. I used to have this a long time ago. I used to love this perfume so much. And you know, I completely like stopped using it because I was like, yeah, I'm not going to get another one. I want to try more Montals. But then I was like, you know, for sure, people will ask me that does this have any similarity to Intense Cafe, which is Montal's Cafe. Intense Cafe is something completely different. It is, you cannot compare the two perfumes at all. So the Montal does have that coffee note. It's so strong, like you literally smell like coffee. And it's not, I'm not saying it's a bad perfume, it's an excellent perfume. But in comparison to Cafe Oud, Cafe Oud is a much more subtle version of, okay, no, it's not even like a subtle version of Montal. Let's just call it a cappuccino perfume, but it has like a lot of oud and a lot of florals. Like in my opinion, this is leaning very floral. It's not leaning gourmand or coffee. Having said that, like, okay, maybe the name Cafe Oud doesn't justify this perfume, because I would have probably wanted to see a little bit more cappuccino in it, but it's a good perfume. Like the moment I put this on my nose, the moment I sprayed it and I got that whiff, I was like, it's a sense of familiarity, and I just felt like I need this perfume in my collection, and I will get the full version, the full bottle for this. This again for me is a 10 out of 10, no doubt. Like for me, the vanilla is like so, you know, there's no coconut note in this, but I do get like a little bit of that Utopia Coco Vanille, that kind of vibe as well, but it doesn't have coconut. This, however, is like a cold, going to the club, you know, the same thing as I described Elixir. It's literally like a woman who comes out at night. She's very mysterious, she's very dark, she's very sexy. She like doesn't need any man, you know, she's very like that confidence and everything she has, like she's very attractive because of that. This is like a statement perfume, like it makes a statement. When a person will smell this on you, they will be like, yeah, I'm not going to take this person for granted, you know, like it's a very strong personality. And I love that. I love this perfume. Like this DNA is like very rare, like there are very few perfumes. But if you know the true sense of the word noir in perfumes, like when you hear noir, except for the Tom Ford ones, just forget about them. But in any other perfume, when people use that word noir attached to their flanker or something, you know that darkness you get. This is that perfume. Projection, this one is much stronger than the other one, so this is like 3 to 4 feet depending on how much you spray. Again, the longevity is like 8+ hours. You don't need to respray a lot. This like stayed on my skin like for the rest of the day. I did not like if I would sniff my hand, I would smell it. So I absolutely love this perfume. 10 out of 10. Now the next one is Rose Oud. So this is like, of course we all were expecting, right? I was expecting for sure like a rose oud in this collection, because like you cannot have like oud without a rose. So this one is like pinkish. The fonts and the design is in pink. For some reason this got the least points on Fragrantica. It got 3.94, which is like surprising because it's a very good perfume. Look, now this one, compared to all the so many rose and oud perfumes I have in my collection, it's similar to nothing. It's similar to nothing. Now, the thing I like about this collection is that it doesn't remind me of anything. And this was the big deal for me. Like, because it was like, when this perfume was, the range was like announced, I was like, how is she going to differentiate it? Because this is the market. This is like the ingredients we use all the time in literally all the perfumes. And they're bajillion perfumes, especially the traditional ones with oud. There are like so many of them. So I was like interested. I was like, you know, what difference will Kayali deliver? And they delivered. This perfume is again very gorgeous. This is a very floral perfume. Now oud is in the background, really far away. Like it's like watching her, all the blooming roses and everything. It's watching her like from very far away. So oud is definitely not like there in the face and everything. This is more, again, like for me, like a fruity floral perfume. So the top notes for this are pear, lemon and geranium. Middle notes of Bulgarian rose and peony, and the base notes of vanilla Madagascar, cashmere and wood and oud. So yeah, the base notes are all woods, and then you have these fruity and floral perfumes. Why it feels so different is because I feel the geranium and rose, the quality they've used is excellent. It's like a pink rose. It's not a red rose for sure. And it smells like, it's something from Penhaligon's, or like it's one of the big brands. It smells like the rose that you use in that. Doesn't smell like your cheap, ordinary rose that you find in every other perfume. Now, again, this one the rose reminds me a little bit like the rose from Rose's Greedy. Again, like the vanilla and rose thingy. This is not a jammy rose. This is not a, when I tell you that mix citrus perfumes with rose perfumes and elevate it, you do not get this by, layering. This, again, because of the lemon pear, it makes it like so much more intriguing. Because of that pear, it has that quality of Lantity, but again, it's nothing like Lantity. But I'm just saying, that intrigue you get just because of that pear note. Lantity was a perfume that made me fall in love with the note pear, and this one has that same intrigue. It's like a weird, you get like a, like when you initially smell it, you're like I feel like sometimes more than my words, my expressions tell you more about the perfume. So yeah, it's like that pear, lemon, geranium in the beginning, and then your rose, and then all your like wood and vanilla notes, your peony, everything. It just like smells like very fresh. It's very fresh. It's not the same perfume, but it makes me feel what Lantity makes me feel. It makes me feel very beautiful, very pretty. I feel very, like if I walk out, I'll be like one of the most beautiful women out there. It's like just on my own also, like if I'm wearing this and if I'm on my own, I'll just feel so content and happy with my life, because I feel like this smells like a complete woman. I'm describing these in a weird way, but I'm so impressed with these perfumes. Again, I'm like repeating it like a broken record, but it's very difficult to come up with perfumes in the Middle East that do not smell generic Arabian. None of these smell generic in any form, So for me, because that was for me in my head, that would be the challenge for Kayali. Like, how are they going to do it? And surpassed my expectations big time, big time. So this, again, it's like a 10 out of 10 perfume for me. Guys, it's called Oud. The range is Oudgasm, but the ouds are very subtle. It's nothing like that'll make you pinpoint. So even if you do not like oud, buy them, because test them, okay? Because these are available in Sephora, of course, like you can go and test them and then purchase them. By the way, I've noticed that when I purchase it from Huda Beauty website, I get so many points. Plus, I get like so much of free samples, like from Huda Beauty and sometimes also from Kayali. I just feel like the whole purchase is so much more worth it when I purchase it, because those points, like her point system is like really good. I think it's 5% or something, I don't know. But the point system is really good, and of course, if I'm buying perfumes, I'm spending like big bucks, right? So I end up getting like so many points, and when I redeem it, the perfume is so much cheaper for me. So just a tip, that like maybe purchase it from the Huda Beauty website. Now, what's confusing for me is how am I going to decide which oud I want to buy? Because the actual oud, I've not bought it. I want to buy it, but like I'm confused because that's very, very expensive. They're like about $150 each, and I like really want it, but I'm like, how? So I'll probably buy it like one at a time, and I'm confused which one I want, because of course the cafe oud would smell very nice in the house, but at the same time this rose one would smell excellent, and the vanilla one is like just kick-ass. But I feel the vanilla one is more gourmand, it's more me. Maybe Ali would not appreciate it. So the competition is between the cafe oud and the rose oud for the bakhur. Now this again for me, sorry, feminine, time of the day, daytime. This is any time of the day. You can make this from a daytime to a nighttime perfume very easily. And projection is like a good 3 to 4 feet. Longevity is like 8+ hours. I'm not even being bothered to emphasize on the longevity and projection, because these are going to project, these are going to be long lasting. Again, 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10. Now, the last but not the least is the Oudgasm Tobacco Edition. And I can't figure out, is this like a greenish or yellowish font, Anyways, so this one had the highest rating, right? So this got 4.5 on Fragrantica. Again, it is not compared to anything. The top notes for this are mandarin, clary sage, plum, white honey, and geranium. Middle notes of clove and saffron, and the base notes of tobacco, patchouli, vanilla, benzoin, praline, and oud. So this is like the most, out of all, this is like the most complicated, sophisticated, whatever you want to call it. Now this definitely is unisex leaning masculine. So good for the men that they got at least one perfume. Now this one, it turns, you know, that initial spray is like plum. Immediately you feel like plum. And this definitely reminds me of one of the Latafa perfumes. Now either it is Khaltat Royal Blend Gold, or it's Oud Mood. Now mind you, Kayali does not need to copy any of these perfumes. They have like perfumers working for them like full time, and I don't think they, you know. So the first one is the Khaltat Royal Blends. Kind of something is there, but not really. So no, not that. And then you have your Eternal Oud. Let's just say the dry down of Eternal Oud and the dry down of Oudgasm Tobacco Oud 04. So this was like the quickest one, which was like, yes, this is the one. It has that same sweet plum rose kind of opening, and then it moves to like spices and woods like super quick, yeah. And this one is like, let me take you back in time again. Sadness by Enigma is playing in the background, and you're walking through streets, the marketplace of old Turkey or old Ottoman, I don't know, territory or something, where you have like markets where they have spices, woods and everything being sold, and you're an explorer and a scientist who wants to like test out different scents, different herbs, different, you know, like resins and everything, all of that combined. And then you go to your little room. You have like books stacked up in your room from floor to ceiling. It's dusty and everything, you know. And then this old parchment paper is also there, like the papyrus, you know. This gives me that feeling. So this is like a very, smells the oldest amongst them. The other three are very youthful. They're very feminine. They're very bright. This one is a little wise, a little bit mature. Mature not in a way that you're old or something, but mature as in, like, I can't imagine like a 21-year-old wearing this perfume. No, it's just not gonna go. But at the same time, it has the masculine energy as well. Like men and women both can pull this off, but not all women can pull this off, right? Because some of you will find this a little too masculine for you. Having said that, the tobacco is like the tobacco, dried tobacco leaf. It is not like the cigarette smoke. It's definitely doesn't smell like cigarette, thank God. It is the actual tobacco leaf when it's dried, and it is not roasted yet, you know. It's just like the tobacco leaf which is like dried. This is definitely like a very herbal, very spicy wooden perfume, and the dry down is very beautiful. So this one for me, let's just say because of the innovation, but because I don't feel this was as exclusive as the other ones, this is something I have like kind of smelled, you know, but not exactly like this. Of course, this is not a dupe for anything. Now, no other perfume is duping this yet, but it does remind me of a couple of perfumes, which is why I'm going to give this a 9.5 out of 10. Would I buy a full bottle of this? If I have the money, I will. Because now I already have like 3 perfume bottles to buy, like this one, then plus I have to buy the oud sticks. Like, how am I going to do it? You know, I'll get like bankrupt. So I do want this, and because this Ali can wear it as well, and this is like, again, like a bit like, I don't know, I feel you can wear this perfume anywhere. Like if you go to an office, but you need to be like well dressed, like in a suit and tie, you know. And if you're a woman, again, like a suit pant or a skirt pant, you know, suit skirt, you know. And like for me, like I need to wear like a black abaya, like you know, not like this colorful, funky, or you know, like very cutesy things. No, this is like a serious. I need to be more serious, you know. Very good perfumes, guys. Like all these perfumes, I'm so happy because this month I was like, I had already spent on different other perfumes, and I was like, shit, said the wrong word again. I thought, let me like buy this like next month. I was like, no, I need to get them because just this itch was there, you know, like, come on, it's like Oud collection by Kayali. Of course I would want it like immediately. You know, if I had to think of a texture, like the old parchment paper, not papyrus. Why am I calling it papyrus? The old parchment paper, like it gives me that texture. And like, you know, there's like tobacco leaves around as well, stacked up. Plus you have your cloves, you have your other spices, your herbs, everything in the same room. And the room smells like this very beautiful scent. And again, the actual burning oud for this, like I would reserve it for special occasions, or if I would have like Eid or something where it's like I need to like impress my, I was gonna say staff, my relatives. It will be amazing, you know, like it will be very impressive. Now for the ranking, I'm so confused. So definitely cafe oud or vanilla oud would be my top, and it's so tough because this one is like the like very gourmandy, which you know is my favorite like genre of perfumes. But then this one has that noir feeling, you know, and cold winter night, it's cold outside, then you go clubbing and it's like bright lights and you know like you're dancing on good beats and everything. It gives me that feeling. So I don't know, I cannot choose between the two. So I'm gonna say this is number one, sharing. I'm sorry. I know you probably want one. But if let's just say if you like gourmand, if you can buy all of them, who am I to stop you? But if you want one, just one, it's going to be either or. If you like gourmand, if you love gourmand, you have to have the vanilla because it's like the perfect oud vanilla. If you are into like that elixir, the noir kind of perfumes, then you would want this. These two are number one for me. Now, number three is definitely the rose oud. Again, it's a very beautiful floral. It gets a little bit soapy towards the end, but that's because of that pink flowers, you know, pink rose, geranium. But it still is very, it's something I've never smelled before. Like I have so many Latafa ouds, right? Like I got that for you guys to like, you know, tell you the differences. This would stick out. Like it doesn't even smell like the Mancera Roses Gris or Roses Vanille by, which one was it? Mancera Montal, one of them. But it doesn't smell like that. So for me, this is like intriguing. So this is the second position. And the third position, of course, then is your tobacco. Tobacco, just because it's like a very specific occasion where very specific people that you need to wear this with, which is why I've given it the fourth position. So that's it for today. Finally did it. Yes, I did it. I got the Kayali Oudgasm, cured the itch as they call it. You know, sometimes I say these like, what do you call them? Wisecracks or whatever you call them. But like sometimes I say it and then I have a feeling that I'm getting it wrong. Like tooting my own, blowing my own horn or something. I said something really weird last time and I wasn't sure if I said it right. So forgive me because English is not my first language, okay? I hope you enjoyed the video, guys, and let me know if you've tried these, and if you tried them, which one did you like? It's pricey, so I would suggest you try them first at Sephora or something and then purchase it. I know everything reaches Netherlands. For some reason it doesn't reach there. I hope you guys get it because like you have been telling me that it's the wedding collection has still not reached there. So I hope you get these as well. But like, of course, they prioritize markets based on their research and what moves and what not. So as a business, I wouldn't be able to because I'm not that smart or anything. So anyhow, guys, let me stop rambling and end this video at a good note. Love you guys so much. Smell good. Be happy. Be nice to everybody. Like let's just like not think of how other people behave and why they are so bitter and everything. Just want like everybody just to be happy on their own and just take happiness within yourself, in yourself, and then project that happiness and love and everything to others. And I just feel on the long run you'll be at peace. Love you so much, guys. Until next time, bye.